be done. Look at how well he's putting up a fight in a 2v1 situation right now.
The fact that he's even delayed Sky and Scroll for this long is phenomenal, as is Peterbot continuing to split them apart. He will not let them challenge him 1 versus 1. Anything else is not going to go their way, but Peterbot, he's still managing to scramble. He's on the escape. He's got the reveal marks as well. He knows exactly how he needs to move. But again, Sky Scroll, they realize we got to reconvene, we got to re-aggress. Peterbot from below, he's on his last little ticks of HP, and I don't think he's going to make it out.
Finds a bandage, has to hit it, but unfortunately will fall now. And that is back-to-back games of trouble on the horizon now for Peterbot and Folio. And it is just starting to slip away now. If there was ever a moment for the competition to really find their confidence here in day number 2, it is now. What a critical moment that just unfolded in match number 8.
But again, we heard it even in that last interview that Adam just had with Queasy and Thomas HD. They choose to still play the game as if nothing's gone wrong. There's been no spoiler in effect for the first place team because they know their best performance is going to come from 0 distractions.
Crazy to think that if the OCE team didn't rotate in at that time, he would have gotten the bandage off and we would have still seen something potentially unfold. But the reality is now, top 5 is going to shake up.
And at this point, Peterbot and Pollo, they might just have to hit the drawing board themselves because that's 2 for 2 on the start of today. That is just not gone anywhere near the direction that they would have hoped here in day 2. But on a separate note, Thomas HD, Queasy got a nice overview of the rest of the map from their current position. Use some of the natural elevation to base up on. And here at Mount Olympus, a couple of teams nearby, but they've just got so much space boxed out and claimed.
Bryson Bolts with the Rift Island, Chicho and Trulix down low, still sitting pretty in 3rd place right now, based up under the Rift Island. Not an ideal situation to be in here, given that teams won't rotate because they see the island, let alone get a better angle for Chicho and Trulix. Very unlikely, but they have a duo in sight. It'll be important for them to find a couple tags here. 340 above, they should be okay for the time being. However, that's the damage that we're looking for.
Another little bit of a shock, though, as far as our top 5 is concerned. Spinks and Dukes have also been eliminated. They jumped up a few placements after their match 7 performance. They were sitting inside of top 10, 9th, I believe, to start day 2. So the fact that they've fallen here already just means, again, ample opportunity for some of these other teams to try and leapfrog their way up and over inside of that top threshold of the leaderboard. But Vico, Flixie, first off, they've got to deal with a little bit of pressure from the north side of where they're based. And again, Vico and Flixie, they had some success whenever they were able to find those forecast towers in yesterday's matches, but it's not going to be as easy this time around, and Bryson Bolts are a big part of the reason why.
Bryson Bolts, slow and steady, wins the race, and they have been working their way on up. Just look at those standings right there. Currently in 6th right now. Most of the immediate competition sitting on ice for a second. Another unfortunate run for Cold and Acorn here. And they're a day 2 type of team, so really have to scratch your head and wonder what's happening over there. But Clix and Vino have a lot more to worry about here. Resigns and Damo out of the question here, trying to look for the fight. Vino with a monstrous tag, and they just shut down Resigns and Damo, really showing them who's the kings of this one right now. But Chicho and Trulix have also met their match. What is happening over here?
Rift Island just continues to get even more traction surrounding the baseline of it. Teams that are potentially hoping to try and utilize some of the mobility aspects surrounding it, such as the rifts, and in fact, Chicho, Trulix, they're on the go. But remember, Queasy, Thomas HD, they were sitting on a peak near Mount Olympus. There's a very high likelihood that they're going to be looking to take some shots at some of these teams rolling in from the Rift Island.
Aviva and Bugha are definitely one of those teams as well. They have a lot of high ground. Back on over to Bolts and Bryce, though. Finding Agers out here on the rotate there. Very, very important tags, given that they are just 40 above the damage threshold. So just a couple moments before that starts to affect everyone here. Big moves coming in, though. Once the zone closed, the damage will start to escalate very, very quickly. The later the game goes, the more storm damage it will do per tick of you sitting inside of it. Bolts and Bryce cannot afford to mess around here. They will luckily pull zone to their side. However, they are under the focus of the rest of the lobby. It's not looking good here.
And not only that, but they're also getting battered by these Storm Surge ticks. They need to connect at least one more shot, but they're losing the time to do so because they're having to heal instead. Valuable seconds. They could maybe catch some of these other teams that are also late on the rotate, but instead they're forced to deplete all